Let's start with the third session of Bootstrap. Today we are going to look at something called images, how to create or use responsive image classes, and the same way we are going to look at something called list groups, cards, and a bit more about displays, flex, floats, shadows, and then borders. So again, so whenever you put images, so let's say, so whenever you take images, so they are of a particular size. Whenever you put those images in some uh, in uh, in some HTML element, they will occupy the whole space of the image. But that is not desirable when you are building responsive websites. So all those cases you need to find a way to make sure that images are responsive. So let me put the container. And now I'm going to put 4 columns or 3 columns. That means 4 kind of boxes. So this is going to be structure. I'm not using any responsive. If you want, you can use it. I'm just putting for all screen sizes. Now let me put some image inside it. So I use this image URL. So by default, the images will take the size of how much ever their actual size is. So you can see it, you're struggling with the thing, and the page is like scrolling and all. So Bootstrap has some image classes which makes the image looks uh, responsive. So all you have to do to make them responsive is you have to add a class called image fluid. So what image fluid does is it will make sure that image is contained inside its parent. So you can see now the images are becoming small. That means they are taking the size or width of the container, not more than that. So in this way, your pages will become much more better. So this is the whole idea of using uh, images. So whatever the image you want to make it responsive, all you have to do is you have to just put a class called image fluid, and it will occupy the space of the container. So with this, you can build really good looking web pages. Again, you can see now your images are responsive. So whatever you scale it down, so you can see that these are automatically scaling. You don't have to worry about anything. So now that your images also have become responsive. The next item which we are going to look at today is called something called list groups. So list groups are something which make you display series of content in a very good fashion. So let's say you want to create some left side menus and all. So you can use list groups to create all things. And again, so these are pretty simple to implement. All you have to do is use this class. So list group class, you can see there's list groups coming into picture, but that's not the whole feature of it. So you can use your list groups with your content. So you can create very good looking items. So there are many options which provides. Again, if you want to put it as um, if you want to put the list group as with your own HTML content, you can do it. So what it makes is it makes your uh, page looks really well. So let me put some list group. Okay, so you can see how the layout is changing. If you want to change, all you have to do is, uh, let's say you want to put some buttons over here. If I remove activity, it will not be blue. So active makes it look blue. It means it is the most active item, or what you want to display as clicked. Uh, or if you want to add buttons to it, you can keep on adding all the things which you have learned till now. You can see that the button has been uh, added, or if you want to put it at some other position, you can put them. So let's say if you want to put the buttons here, so there is no restriction in where you can put, again if you want here. So because small is an inline element, you can create a div class is equal to text right. So the button would be on the right side. So you can create all these kinds of items, or where there is a list of items which you need to display using list view. Very helpful if you are building something like, let's say, a list of uh, flights and all, or it's close to tables, but tables have some other information. But let's say you are building something like listing of flights, or something else, you can use these kind of things, which you can put more. Tables have much more restricted environment, like it has to have rows and columns. But using list view, you can create very good looking layouts, and all. So the next one, again, we looked them yesterday, but today we are going to look them, because now you know how to do responsive images. So these are called cards. So um, like I told you, cards are one of the most versatile, or one of the most interesting features which came in the recent years, with which you can build really amazing stuff. So this is just a simple card. The thing with card is you can create one more row. So inside it, and again, all the concept you have learned till now, you can use it. So let's say you are. So you can see there is a right side content in the same way, or if you want to make it, let me make it 2, 6. So it's 8. Now there is, or 2, 8, 10. Now let me create one more. I'm just creating some layout, which I'm going to explain to you how it looks once it's done. So let me put some images over here. So now you can see, because you created this, you created this kind of the kind of card which uh, you can use to display any kind of content. So inside the card you can put rows, or what are the things you want. Again, so this is not only restricted to, um, let me put, so don't worry why I put this div. So to give you some bottom height, let's so that, otherwise, yeah, to show you. So I put this div just to show you. Uh, Otherwise, these things are going down. So let's keep it at the end. So we will work here. Okay. So again, with the cards, you can play a lot of things. And again, there are something called images. So again, with the cards you can use images, and also you can use like yeah, image overlays. So that means the background this would be an image, and you can put the card title and all the things inside it. uh, and also like there are cards with which you can make these kind of layouts, left side image and all the things. So if you look at any of the modern uh, things, you understand that most of the people are using cards. Again, these are the colorful cards. If you want to use colorful, all you have to do is it follows the same behavior like I said. So all you have to do is if you make it from um, all you have to do is primary. So primary will become blue. So these are the constant colors which Bootstrap follows. So primary is blue, secondary is gray, success is green, danger is red, yellow or orange, whatever it depends on. It's called danger. It's called warning. There's light, which is kind of whitish, and there is dark, which is dark color. So these things help you in it's a uniform across buttons, backgrounds, texts, or any other things we use. In the same way, whenever you are using sizes are like very constant. um, it's small by default. It's mobile, so very small. So it's small, medium, large, and extra large. So these are the five sizes. So whenever you are looking at some other things um, like columns and the thing which you are going to look now, it's called how to play around with displays. So what happens is whenever you want to build some layouts which looks different. So yeah, so if you want to apply or hide some elements based on uh, the the size of the screen. So you have to use some of these display classes. So there's this table. It's d none. That means it's hidden on all screen sizes. Hidden on access. It's display none. Display small blob. Hidden on small. So it's very simple. You display it for none, and you keep on making it uh, visible from all the uh, sizes above that. So you can see if it's access, it's SM, it's SM, it's MD, it's MD, it's LG, so it's LG XL. So these are the display classes, and these all all the visible classes. So if you want to make it visible only on small screen, all you have to do is you have to make it none, and small you have to make it block, and all above it you have to make it none again. So because these classes are applicable from the given size to all the above sizes, so it will help you in building very responsive applications. What I mean by responsive is, let's say you want to hide some elements on some of the screens. Let's do that. So I'm creating a row. Now I will create two columns. So one in which I put the image, and one in which I put text. So with this, I'm going to put, let's make it the image. Now you can see that there is this. Copy it and refresh it again. So there is this image, and on the right side there is, let's say, very big heading. I hope everybody remembers from yesterday's class. There are these big heading classes called display classes. So you can see I put a logo or image, and then I put something called Masai School in very big font. And make it text center. Now on small screens, or like I'm showing here, this is looking good, but you can see on small screens, I don't want to show this image. So what you can do is, like if you go to the small screen, so if you if you want to make it hidden on small screens, so all you have to do is, or let's make it even on medium screens. Let's make them hide. So I have to put these classes. So for this column, I'm just making them uh, hide on. So you can see display medium none and large block. So as soon as it reaches the medium size, so it's gone. So now you can see it's being only visible on the large screen. And in large screen, let me put, okay, now this will look, when you don't need it, so because it's an 8:1. So again, as soon as it reaches, okay, now it went here. Okay, medium I put 12. Okay, so as soon as you can see that, as soon as it crosses the medium screen size, it reaches the medium screen size, it becomes uh, like this one becomes hidden. So let me make this 12 or 28. Now you can see that it's 12, and the image is gone, uh, and now the image is there. So using all these things, what you can do is you can really build very interesting looking websites. Like I'm going to show one of the example where I used it. So if you look at Masai School, so this image is there and a transformation in education is there. So if you just inspecting element, so if you see now the page looks different. Again, at certain stage it looks different, and at one stage the image comes up. So what I have done is, here you can see that so there are actually two divs. So one div is for uh, showing in these screen sizes. So it's a completely different layout. So in this screen size, um, you can see that in large and extra large, I'm hiding them, and I'm the image which is the div which has image, I'm just only showing in large and extra large. On all other screen sizes, I'm hiding them. So using these techniques, you can create multiple elements, and then you can show and hide based on if your layout is completely different on different screen sizes. In these cases, these display classes all very helpful, so that all you have to do is you have to create multiple HTML elements, and then you hide and show based on your screen size. So this table will help you on it. So all you have to do is, if it's um, if it has to be visible only on Excel, so you have to do uh, none and display Excel block. If you want for multiple, all you have to do is Excel block and MD block. So it will be um, and if you don't want to show it on LG none. So based on all these things, so you can with all these things, you just have, you can remember it, or this is just pattern to this table, or you can refer to this table. But you understand that with all these classes, you can build layouts which are looking good in most of the screen sizes. So that's the usage of uh, display. Now let's come to the next one. So the next one we're going to look at is flex. So Bootstrap also provide you the flex classes. Again, if you are building something which is not using columns and all, you can use the flex. All you have to do is again display flex. One of the advantage this classes gives you is you can play around with all these things without writing your actual CSS. So let's build a flex box. So you can see um, all the classes are there in the documentation. So there are so many classes which you can refer if you want to, like uh, it has, like, all these properties, flex wrap, and also if you want to use wrap in one of the size, all you have to do is flex sm wrap. If you don't want to use wrap, so you have to use uh, uh, no wrap. So the screen sizes will remain the same: sm, md, lg, xl. So it follows a uniform pattern. In the same way, the order is also there, which you have looked at. So these are all the classes. You don't have to remember all the things. You can remember the pattern, so that if you want to use, you can use them. Again, let's make a flex box. So this is the flex. All you have to do to use a flex is you have to use this class called dflex, and again all the elements inside it will be, I'm just putting a class called box so that I'll make. So all these properties you have used when we are, or you have written your own uh, classes when you are learn CSS. Now you are just using Bootstrap inbuilt classes instead of your own classes. So the properties will remain the same. All you have to do is, so these are the four boxes which you have. So if you want them to be of different order, so all you have to do is flex sm reverse, I think reverse or row reverse. Yeah, it's flex sm row reverse. So in small screen sizes, it will be, the rows will be revised. And let's say you want flex md column and flex lg row. So now you can see, based on, in large screens it will be row, and in medium screens it will be, again it is shifted to column, and again in small screens it will shift to row reverse. So just with the classes, without writing any of the media queries or any of the things, you are just playing around with it to make sure that the flex items are arranging as per your requirement. All you have to do is you add the flex classes, nothing more. You don't have to write any custom CSS for it. Again, so all the things you have used, like the floats. Yeah. So Bootstrap has float classes also. So you can also change the floats based on the screen sizes: sm, md, lg, again excel. So if you use these things, make a container. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put two buttons. And make them um, look different, or float different in different screen sizes. So you can see there are two buttons which are pretty simple. Now based on my preference, if you make this as float right, and I'm making this as float left. So now you can see the success is left. The right, this one is the danger is on the right. If you want to use uh, the responsive classes, you can use it. Now let's say on large screens and above you want it to be right, and LG left. What I'm going to do is on small screens I make this left and to float small left, float small right. Okay, so now by default the large screen does danger button is on floating right and the success button is floating left. As soon as you go to small screens, so you can see they shifted the order. So now this is floating to the left. Yeah, you can see in small screens it's floating to the left and this is floating to the right. So again, so these with these classes you can make the layouts look very different on all different screen sizes. Um, Again, so whenever there is float, you need clear. So there is this single class called clear. Whenever you want to use clear, there is this class called Clearfix. If you use um, this class, it will clear the floats. Otherwise what will happen is any element you put, uh, so you can see this para will be somewhere here. But if you want to clear the floats, all you have to do is you add a class called Clearfix. So it will remove the floats and your uh, your paragraph will come down. So this is one of the class which you can use whenever you are using floats. So the rest all remains the same. So you can see the rest all changing and all remain the same. But I want to create the floats. That's why I'm using Clearfix. So so this is only way you use whenever you're using floats. The next thing we are going to look at today are Bootstrap something called shadows. So whenever you want to create very good looking boxes, you can use shadows. It provides uh, like no shadow. That means there is no shadow and there is very small shadow. So you can see the shadow SM. This is the normal shadow, and if you want a large shadow, it is LG. So whenever you are creating some kind of uh, boxes, let's say you are building an e-commerce kind of application where you are showcasing the uh, products. Let's say you are showcasing 3 products. That means column needs to be 4. Always remember the 12 rule. So there should be 12 columns per row. Now let's say div item 1. Let's make it h1. I'm just putting something so that you can see the shadows. Item 2 and 3. So now there are 3 items, and let me put text center so that all the items would be on central line. Okay, you can see all the items are central. Now, if you want to put uh, shadows, all you have to do is you have to add class sm. So it will put small shadow, and if it's a normal shadow, just the class name is shadow, and if it's a large shadow, the class name is shadow. So now, if you put this, you can see the difference. So there is very small shadow, this is medium, and this is a large shadow. Uh, in the same fashion, so there are borders which you can use. Borders will make you put some borders, like border will put all the borders. In the same way, you can you can remove borders, and or you can put colorful borders. So let's use this, the same one. So instead of shadows, now we're going to use borders. So all you have to do is use the borders. It also follows the same standard of naming: primary, secondary, success, danger. So I'm just, instead of shadows, I'm putting borders. So now these items will have borders. Again, whenever you are building any applications which require them, you can start using them. Okay, it's all based on the template, so you can see how good these things are looking. Again, if you want to make them much better, let's I don't know how many you remember from the extra text primary. So it will look the same color, text, danger, text, success. So you can see, yes, yeah, you can see I created very good inboxes. You can use it for creating some fancy items, like, I don't know, pricing tables, or any of the places where you want to highlight something and all. You can use borders. Again, very helpful when you are building some certain pages. And the last thing we are going to look at is, I mean, so it has something called uh, border radius classes also. So whenever you are building some images and uh, uh, you wanted images which have rounded corners, or completely rounded, you can use these kind of um, border radius classes. So I'm using this same one. Let me put the image response. Okay, I'm making them fluid so that these would be automatically adjusted to the size of the column. Okay, so now these images are square, and then that doesn't have any rounded corners. So if you want to put the rounded, so you can use this rounded, so it will make you rounded on rounded corners. But if you want to make them circle, all you have to do is you have to use this class called circle. So you can see the middle one will become circular. So it will cut some portion of the image. So you have to use this whenever you are using, let's say you want to showcase profile pics and all, or if you want to achieve these kinds of effect, you can achieve these kinds of effect also. rounded pill or pills. So, or we use here, will not showcase this effect here. Okay. No, it's not refreshing or rounded pill. Okay. Or if you want to make it rounded also, this one will be rounded. Yeah, you can see it has a bit of rounding effect. And if you want to make this one a large rounded, you can make it LG, so you'll get a bit more roundness. You can see this has these classes for rounded LG. Let's use them. Yeah, just this might not be refreshing. Yeah, this rounded is working. So for this, check. So I mean, this will work definitely. So, or this is not reloading code pen. So you can see that that circle one is working. Let me put circle here and see if it works. Or it's so small that you are unable to see. Yeah. So you can see you can use this process. Let me zoom in so that you can see it. Yeah. Now you can see the roundness of here. So it's different from the square. So there is this small roundness, so which you can definitely not see in the actual size. So yeah, here it's very difficult to notice. Uh, so I mean, mostly you use the circular ones if you want to showcase some of the circular images. So these are the things which you can use to build any of the things. Again, if you want to put a border to it, you can add borders also to any of the elements. Let's add a border to. So you can create all these kinds of effects using mixing and matching of the things which you know till now. Yeah, you can see this looks like uh, an message. So let me put text danger. So whenever you want to create some kinds of these kinds of effect, let me put padding 3. So you can see and you can create a nice looking box with the rest message. So there are inbuilt classes for this called alert boxes. You can use them also, but whenever you want to build. So again, without writing a single line of CSS code, you are able to achieve so many different things. So that's the whole part of the Bootstrap using classes. So today we looked at images, list groups, card, display, flex, floats, shadows, and borders. So all the things you already know, or what we are doing is we are just using the classes that Bootstrap provides to apply those properties to the elements which you have written and with zero custom CSS code. But if you want to change some of these properties or change some of things, you have to customize it to your thing. Then you have to write your own CSS code. But most of the times, with very minimal CSS code, you can build very good looking layouts, projects, and websites.